This is Chelsea for Fur, and I have PCOS and a couple other things I deal with, and I needed to wax my mustache because it's been 3 days, and it's coming back. Oh, that kind of hurt. If you have questions about waxing and like what to do that, if you have PCOS and you have like facial hair as a woman, or heck, if you want to do it as a guy, I have a video that I did, my first video actually. Go back and refer to that. I'll go over it a bit. Figured I would go over it really, really quick again. So I use Ceraphil, whatever it's called. And it was a small wax warmer, and then I mustache my wax. I wax my mustache about every 2 to 3 days. And I'm doing that now. So my husband was home for the weekend. He's a trucker, so he's gone during the week and then home on weekends. And so when he's home, sometimes I wax it, sometimes I don't, not always. I'm trying to spend as much time with him as possible. And so he left a couple hours ago. He went and did a local run. And so I need to catch up on my mustache waxing. While doing that, I have my dogs in my office with me. This is the first time I've allowed them in the office since, well, for a long time. Olive, come here. You can really see it. You can't see very well on the camera. Anyways, so I'm giving them treats. So this is Leonard. Say hi, Leonard. Hi. Hi. That's Alice. Hi. Olive, where are you? Olive. Yes. Hi. 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 Do you guys want treats? We have sweet potatoes. I had to give them raw treats. They eat a raw food diet anyways, and I'll go over that on another video if you guys have questions. And that includes treats. I do get the Bully Make box once a month, and it's like grain-free products. But in between that, I usually just give them potatoes. They love sweet potatoes. Apples are their favorite. Huh, you guys love apples, huh? Good. I love sweet potatoes because it's like candy, and carrots. They love carrots. So it works out really well. I just buy food for me and Blake. Mmm. Mmm. Yum. And I get to eat it too. Anyways, today I wanted to talk about being proactive, being grateful for your surroundings, and being grateful for what you have. Especially this day and age. Well, it doesn't really matter what day and age. And that's the thing is, like, a lot of people think that, like, nowadays, like, we're so original and we have so many issues. Which, granted, we have a lot of different issues than, like, what our parents grew up with, where I even grew up with, even. There you go. And so I know now, like, kids have to deal with a lot more than I used to have to deal with. And being a parent nowadays is really difficult. One thing, though, I'm noticing with even my generation, I'm considering myself like a Gen X baby. Even though technically I guess I am a millennial. And yes, I cringe when I say millennial. Millennials are the worst. I understand that. So don't get your panties all tight and wad up and everything. But at the same time, though, they're not my favorite. Just for the simple fact that laziness is becoming such a large issue. Me and my mom were even talking about it tonight, where even like in the religion that me and her associate with, they even have articles on how to not be lazy, and how easy it is to be lazy, and how easy it is to make excuses and to not be productive and to not make yourself better. And and I also understand that, like, there are difficult challenges and there are hard things you have to learn how to get over. Hi. It's like something happened to my internet. Once in a while it dies around here because it's a small community that, like, our internet access isn't like the strongest. It's really kind of annoying. Anyways, sorry. Thank you for being patient. I don't know if you guys saw me doing like the. Anyways, okay. So I was talking about people being lazy and being entitled, and I understand this is a really touchy subject because there's so many different situations and there's so many different reasons for people being the way they are, and there's so many different. It's a touchy subject, and so I'm just gonna talk about it. And if you guys disagree, that's totally fine. You know, everyone. That's the beautiful thing, is everyone has their own opinions and have their own views on stuff, and so it is what it is. And I am on the internet, which means I can have my own opinion, or have my own opinion, period. Anyways, so what I was getting back to is I've noticed a lot of people are really entitled. A lot of people are really lazy and they expect people to hand things over to them just because they want it. Especially like with my age, people expect, like, well, I am this age, I'm 31. So I'm 31 and I should have a big house. Everything should be finished. Everything should be this way. Everything should be that way. I should have four-wheelers or side-by-sides or a boat or these big, huge honking trucks, or, you know, whatever their heart desires. They feel that just because they go to work or do things that they are entitled to that. And that's not the case at all. What it is you have to work for what you have. And there are some people, don't get me wrong, that just get things handed to them. And I don't know why that is. I've never been one of those people. I've never had it easy. I've always had to work for everything I've had. And I will probably do that for the rest of my life, because that's just a genetic thing. That's just how my family works. If you want something, you have to work for it. You know, I wasn't raised in a wealthy home. I grew up, I guess, what you consider poor in finances, but I grew up with really wonderful parents and wonderful brother and good grandparents. And so I feel that I was very wealthy and very fortunate in a lot of different ways. At the same end, though, my life has never been easy, and I've had one struggle after another, and after one ends, another begins. And the last couple years is the first time I've actually really had like a light at the end of the tunnel, despite my health issues. As other videos I've talked about, and I'll bring it up a million times over again, just in case you guys haven't seen my other videos, but I have multiple sclerosis, ankylosing spondylitis, degenerative arthritis, rheumatoid arthritis. I have no cartilage in my knees. I've had PCOS since I was 13, so every about 6 months I get a cyst that likes to explode on my ovaries, which is painful. And then I've had several miscarriages. And I haven't been able to actually be able to have children, which is fine, because when I got diagnosed with MS 2 years ago last week, it would have been a lot harder for me to have a child going through all this and going through all the difficulties of finances and us getting our house. So we had a really good opportunity of getting our home, and I absolutely love it. It's a lot of work, though. You know, when I get rooms done, I'll do before and after pictures. I have a before video, then I'll do like an after video of the entire house in each room, because this house has been a lot of work. And some days I hate this house, I'll be totally honest. But at the end of the day, we were given an opportunity. It's my best friend, my mom, who's my, like, she's just my best friend. She's amazing. She's my hero. She's my savior. She's my everything. She's a wonderful, wonderful, brilliant, smart woman that just deserves all the credit in the world. And, And then my husband, he has a really good job, which is really hard in the economy nowadays, and it's really hard to get one with like insurance and different opportunities that we are able to have, unlike a lot of people my age. A lot of people that I know are in apartments or in situations they're not happy in, or living with their parents, which is nothing wrong with that at all. I've been there. I moved with my mom twice, and I've lived in apartments my whole life until this house. This is our first home, and I hope we live here forever. I love this house. Despite the trials and despite all the difficult things that it comes with remodeling a home. And that's one thing, if you do decide to go get a remodel, just prepare for challenges. Get lots of paper plates and plastic silverware and plastic cups, and just prepare for it to be difficult, especially if finances are tight. Where our finances are tight, it could be worse, and we've been given opportunities to where we are able to handle things and make things manageable and make them work. But it's only beneficial, and it only works for us because, not saying us only, but like it works for us because we both work hard on the house, and we both don't give in and give up. And that's the big thing. I know a lot of people that are younger than me and my age who aren't willing to put in the work, whether it's a relationship or school or their children or their marriage or a home. For whatever reason, valid or not, people just tend to be lazy. And I'm not perfect by any means. I have lazy days. Granted, they're not really my decision on being lazy because of my multiple sclerosis. It makes me really dizzy. I can't use my left side very much anywhere. I can't talk very well either. I can't use my left side very much anymore because of that. And because of that, it's also limited me on my ability to work. Some days I can only do 10 minutes at a time. And you know what? That's 10 minutes of work that wasn't done before. And so if you add up all 10 minutes that get things done, you're going to end up with something beautiful, whether it's a home or whatever you're working on personally, it's all going to be worth it if you actually work towards it on a consistent basis, not make excuses and not blame things on people, and take responsibility for your actions. This generation is considered one of the most narcissistic generations, and I fully and completely believe that. People don't take responsibility for the actions. People like to make excuses, whether they like to blame their parents or situations they're in or things they put themselves into or other people around them, and they just don't like to look at the bright side of things or be considerate of other people's thoughts and feelings when it comes to situations, and that's not okay. And trying to make people feel bad about the situation. Before I got in here, I just saw a video of this woman who's older, a little overweight, but not much though. And she's probably disabled. And she had a stool that had a rope on it. This is personally brilliant, I think. She had a truck, okay, and that her and her husband or she worked for, and she has a right to have that vehicle. She has a right to have whatever she wants. No one's freaking business. She had the stool on a rope, and she lowered it down so she could step on it, and then she had it to where the rope was on her seat so she could step on the stool and get into the truck. To me, that's brilliant. That costs a lot less than putting in a step stool on a truck, because that's expensive. I've looked into that, and it's expensive. And these people were recording her, laughing and mocking her, and all these other people in the comments are just horrific. I mean, I'm just waiting for the day I actually start getting comments from people, and like, I know there are going to be some really terrible, terrible things said about me. That's okay though. And I hope for her sake she never comes across that video, because that'd be so devastating. If I saw someone mocking me on how I get into a vehicle some days, or how I do things some days, like I have my handy dandy chairs. I have to have a chair with me when I'm doing something, Like, when I have to sand a floor or do something where there's a lot of bending over. Come here. Which dog is that one? Leonard! Hi. Thank you for coming when I call you. There's some days I do things that probably look really weird to people and look stupid. I forgot what I was saying. Continue the sentence. So I'm just going to pick up from where I think it is. Anyways. So, like, I have to do things different than I used to before I could just bend over and not do anything I wanted because my arthritis has limited me a lot. But now, I have to be really extra careful, and I think it's absolutely horrific that that several thousands of people, possibly millions of people, are mocking this woman for doing the best she can with what she freaking has, which is exactly what I keep gonna press over and over in these videos, is do what you can with what you have, and don't mock others for doing what they can with what they have. You know, as me and my husband tear like wall by wall in this house, or electrical stuff, or the hard things, you know, and in the beginning I was really frustrated and really saying some terrible things about the previous owners, not the most recent one, but the ones before the most recent one, but the ones that were before the lady that we bought this house from, the way they did things. But when I sit back and think about it, they did just fine, and they did the best they could with what they had. How dare I judge them? That's wrong. You know, and it's not okay for anybody to do that. And it frustrates me so much that these people are mocking this woman for doing what she can. I mean, she had a swimming suit on, and so she probably went swimming for her pain and to be healthy and do what she can, and then people mock her for that? I mean, for the love. That is so blatantly wrong, and that's not okay. And that's not how our society should be. We should be encouraging. We should be helpful, especially, and it was a woman, obviously, as I was saying, and I think it was a male and a female. I'm not quite positive. I couldn't differentiate the cackling, horrific laughs of theirs, being, sorry for the French, assholes. You know, especially nowadays, like, we are educated enough to where, and we have resources enough where we could either do a lot of good for people, we could do a lot of damage for people, and that could cause a lot of damage for somebody. You know, I know if that was me or my mom or somebody I knew, I would go full bore crazy. And I'd be pissed. I'm pissed for her. I'm pissed for her family. I'm really devastated at the fact that people are acting this way. Especially after all of the movements we have now. You know, like, I know a big thing right now is, like, empowering women. Because our society has done so much to, like, the female, the women of society throughout all millions of thousands of years of time, where we've always been the lesser than, and now we're finally actually getting a voice, and where we have rights and we have the ability to make a change, and then other women attack women like this. And it's not just this video that I saw. There's hundreds of thousands of videos out there where women are attacking women. And that's not okay. We're supposed to be here to uplift people, and even uplifting men as women, or men uplifting women. Like, that's our job, is to uplift everybody around each other, no matter what gender, race, color, whatever gender they associate with, or whoever they love. Like, we should not be attacking each other. You know, I've always said, I've never really understood wars or people fighting, because it always just looks so petty and childish to me, over stupid stuff usually. What was it? I always figured, I'm like, I think the children of the world should get together and have, like, a big cookie party and figure everything out from there. Because we're not born stupid. We're not born evil. We create evil. We create stupid. You know, whether it's our parents or our environment or our personal decisions, be stupid because we're seeing bad examples. You know, if I do have a child, I'm going to do the best I can to have them be understanding and have them be accepting and have them be gracious and not be judgmental little pricks. And not to be twits. And not to be entitled to anything. If you want something, you work for it. If you want something to look nice, you make it look nice. Quit acting like you're better than. I'm not saying you who's watching the video. I'm just saying people in general. You know, like, I'm sure a lot of people would look at my life and think, oh, how sad or how pathetic or how this or, you know, I love my life. You know, I live close to my family who I love and cherish so much. I get to see my nephews weekly. I mean, that to me is amazing. I get to see my mom every day. My husband comes home safe every weekend. And one of these days we'll have his own truck. And then I can go out with him when I want to go out with him with the dogs. One day we're going to have a child. And if we don't, then we're going to adopt and do foster care because I will always want to do that. One day I will have a child one way or another. I'm supposed to have children. I'm good with kids. I was a stepmom for 5 years and I loved it. And I miss it dearly. I miss being a mom. But one of the biggest things I was doing when I was raising them was to teach them to be good people. And I really hope that sticks with them. I really hope my teachings and my information that I was taught. Hi. Are you being a stinker? Ouch, your claws are so much. Hi. Do you just want to be up here? Oh, thank you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for kisses. I wish people were like dogs who are so sweet. Hi. And just want to be loved. And just want to be cared for. And just want to love you. Anyways, I kind of went off on my rant. Having been a person in really bad situations that I put myself into, and I take responsibility for that. I gotta trim your claws. Oh, Dad's gotta fix your claws. Hi. Hi. I know where I put myself in really bad situations in my past, and I'm working really hard on reconciling with my past and working on myself and teaching myself to be a better person so when I have a child they can be a better person. Because the corny term of the day is the children are the future. That is so factual. That is such a real thing. They're literally our future. And right now we have a whole bunch of entitled little twits being raised by other entitled twits that are selfish and condescending and despicable. Not saying all of them are, all parents are bad that are my age. Not all. I know a lot of really wonderful parents, but the ones who are being defensive right now with this video, the people who are getting upset, you're the one I'm probably talking about. Think about that. Quit blaming things on everybody else. Take responsibility for your actions. Own your shit. Own your actions. Own what you say. Do what you say. Own your words. Own who you are. Whenever I do anything wrong, I'm not perfect. And I will never, ever claim that because there's no way on God's beautiful green earth that I am perfect. I do try so hard, but I'm not good at everything. But I do the best I can with what I have. And right now, I have been very, very blessed. I'm not in this home or in this town on accident. I'm not best friends with my mom on accident. I don't get to see my nephews on accident. This didn't just happen. I wasn't just lucky. It wasn't just, luck of the draw. It's because I was blessed, and everyone else can be too, if they actually try. And if they actually try to own their actions and try to do the best they can to be a good person. And not saying just because you're a good person doesn't mean life's going to be easier. If anything, it just gets harder. Hey! Alice? I hear you. Yeah. If anything, it just gets harder when you try to be good. That's all that happens. It's just, it gets a lot harder when you try to be good and do good things for people. Anyways, I think I got off topic. Maybe not. I can't remember. My lesions are flaring right now. I can feel them. The thing I hope you take away from this, if you've watched this whole thing, I appreciate it if you have, is own your actions, no matter what your disability is, or whether you have one or not. Because everyone has some kind of disability, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. Quit blaming things on your parents. Quit blaming things on your situation. Quit acting like you deserve better. Quit acting like you are better. Because you're not. I'm not. You're not. Nobody is. It is what it is. And it is what you make it. If you live in a crappy house in a hole of a town, make it a decent house. Make the town better. Try and improve your situations. Because it's possible. You can do it. Anyone can do it. Anyways. You just have to decide to do it and quit blaming everybody else. But I'm coming to a 30-minute marker. I appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Bye.